This fielded right at the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Rodgers going to come out throwing. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll earn a couple of tough yards past the 30 to the 31.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Here's Rodgers to throw. Got a man, it's Tunyon. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chains, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On the delay, Jones. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Lets it fly deep for Cobb. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Carlton Davis picks it. And the Bucs are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. So after the INT, it's Brady. It's caught by Mike Evans. And they'll get him down up past the 15. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him, 15 big yards. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guy's. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because He really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
This one taken in by Otten. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Brady now on first down. It's grabbed over the middle by White. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's second down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
Well, that play was over before it even got started. Thanks for nothing, huh? How about that? That sets up a very difficult third down call now.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Brady. Airing this one out for Evans. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, that play there was certainly a scouting report special because Covered was all too aware that this close to the end zone, he's going to become a bigger weapon for that offense. And they were there to help force the incompletion.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement. And off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Now Rodgers. This one complete to Tunyon underneath. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. Trying to escape the shadow of their goalpost. That helped. 10 yards. First down. But no matter your experience level as a quarterback, you throw an interception on that first drive, maybe a little shaken up. Nice response there to get their first down.
I think you make an excellent point. I don't care who you are. You throw an interception, it's going to get to you a little bit. But the ones that we've seen that are the best, you never notice it. They don't come to the bench, throw their helmets. They don't do any of that. They just go back out the next drive and act like it never happened. And that's what we're seeing here.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. Rodgers teaming up with Lazard there for a Packer first down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And Lazard's got it again. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11, first down.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
Rodgers' throw is taken in by Jones. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 35. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. We're scoreless after 1. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. He'll let this go deep for Lazard. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
What will look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw, it's Rodgers. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Airing this one out for Evans. And this is caught. A big play that time for Tampa Bay. 44 yards for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
1st and goal at the 1. Fournette is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Fournette again. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bucs post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. Keyshawn Nixon now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Vita Vea breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you, because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down is Brady. This is caught by Evans. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. That one was hard to fathom. They were in the dime. They had 6 DBs back there. They still lost it.
Great word, because I'm right there with you. I don't understand how they couldn't pick him up. But don't be surprised next week early, there's some extra people in the locker room. Maybe a tryout or two for those guys who missed him.
Brady's throw taken in by Evans here. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. To throw again on 2nd down. Brady. He's got it. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give Fournette another crack. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Buccaneers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Succop, and that'll make the score 14-0. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. Nixon elects not to return it, and this comes out to the 25. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers. And this one is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Here's Pat O'Donnell on now to punt it away. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Buccaneers offense ready to rock and roll again. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control. I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. To throw on 2nd and 10. Brady. Left side here. That's complete to Godwin. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
To the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. 1 yard is the gain, and it'll give the Bucs a first down.
And That's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Over the middle, complete. It's White. And he's got a first down as he's going to be taken down. But a very nice pickup there just in front of the 2-minute warning. Brady now on first down. Here's White. They set up the screen. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first it's good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and 3rd and 8 now. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. He completes this to Russell Gage. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first down, Brady. Over the middle to Evans. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he gets halfway there, down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on first down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Leonard Fournette on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Buccaneers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point try now for Succop. And it is now 21-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Nixon now from his end zone. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Packer offense heading back for one final first-half drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
On first down, Rodgers. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There's a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing now is Rodgers. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. A final shot before half for Rodgers. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They're obviously right now in the driver's seat, comfortably ahead. They've scored on a couple straight possessions, Charles. And, I mean, for them, I guess it's just more of the same, right? Keep doing what you've been doing.
Yeah, it's not typical for us to see games out of reach in the 3rd quarter. Right now, they're unstoppable in this one. And seeing how they just came out onto the field, it does appear like they're done scoring points in this one. They look awfully confident.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
He's got Otten. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Brady. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White, and able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Brady's throw there complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
From the 40 now on second down. Brady. And Brady, the tight end's got it. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Meanwhile, Brady's throw on target to Godwin here. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So first and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Fournette, a first down carry, and he'll fight forward on the straight ahead running for just a couple of yards, second down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves and start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Now Brady. He finds his target. It's Evans. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Brady to Evans that time. First down, Tampa.
And I'll tell you what, this offense is playing a little bit of keep away right now. They've come out here in the third quarter, possessed the ball for quite a while, and they keep on converting. Nice pitch and catch there to set up the first and goal.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on first and goal to add some extra mass. Up the gut, Fournette. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
And now defensively, you have to look at this like the game's on the line. It's just the third quarter, but another touchdown given up here could really spell an end to their chances. So they need to toughen up and keep them out of the end zone.
Second down and goal. Brady. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Rashawn Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's third and goal. To throw, it's Brady. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. Tom Brady with a touchdown pass to Chris Godwin. And the Bucs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it. Pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. Nixon now from his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers steps away to his left. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. That's taken on the 25. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
53 yards for him on the ground now and 3 touchdowns to go along with it. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
A throw over the... And he coughed it up, and the Packers pick it up. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Green Bay touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Crosby with the extra point, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10
at their own 15. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive, and that's incomplete.
I had to do a double take on that one, Brandon, because so far in this game, we haven't seen many of his passes fall incomplete.
Intended target on that one, Russell Gage, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Inside handoff now to Fournette. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. That'll leave 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes, we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Antoine Winfield up from the secondary with the tackle.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw brought in by Watson. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. Welcome back now here in London. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. It's the Packers who have the football but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 39-yard line, here comes second down at 6.
Now Rodgers. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. Yeah, that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He'll find Jones again, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Rodgers now on first down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion.
And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Rodgers to throw once more.
That's complete to Dobbs. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers.
The throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers caught on the right side by Jones.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now a draw play. This is Jones.
45 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. To throw is Rodgers. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2.
And the Packers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. And again, it's Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's got his man. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Allen Lazard.
2 yards on the touchdown there.
And the Packers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. All right, so this one not quite over yet. Back to a 2-score game, CD.
Yeah, and you've still got 4+ minutes to go, so when you think about comebacks, it's happened before. Now, it hasn't happened often, but you've got to think to yourself, let's be the next great comeback story and play this one out.
Touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hit 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
Following the delay, here's 2nd and 9. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A nice little juke. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And that will come the offense as they take over. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
Rodgers now on 1st down.
Throw right side, hauled in by Dobbs.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
A good start there on this 4th quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
His throw incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Carlton Davis picks it.
And the Buccaneers will take over here at their own 14-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and run some clock with Fournette. And some room to roam now. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Victory formation now for the Buccaneers. Down to a knee they go. And the defense will spread the field, a dime package here on 3rd and 12. Brady will take a knee here, and that should just about do it. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. He's been terrific so far. Well, partner, you and I were excited for this one today, and certainly had its moments. Some good execution at times by both of these offenses. Defenses both made some plays as well, and always a joy to be up here in the booth next to you, my friend.
Yeah, it's a privilege to be up here in the booth next to you as well. Thanks for taking the time, and let's go ahead and get ready for our next one, right? I'll see you in the film room. Get that preparation started now.